Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to today's workout, which is going to be an upper body calisthenics workout. So for this one today, you're going to need yourself a mat, 1 or 2 chairs depending on your ability. So if you've got 2, grab 2 just so you have them there. And that's all, so just pause this video and grab those things and we'll get into our warm-up. Okay, so we're going to start with a nice full body warm-up. So we're going to start with bodyweight squats. So if you come to the center of your mat or somewhere in your room, feet come about shoulder distance apart and you're going to turn your knees and toes slightly outwards. So keeping your weight in your heels and sitting back into that squat, you're going to come down so you're around parallel to the floor and then push back up. Now I want you to think about pushing those knees out to the sides. I don't want you to let them collapse in. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see the movement. So sitting back, keeping that chest up nice and high, and your core as always stays nice and tight. And we're moving on. So feet are going to come about hip distance apart again. This time hands are going to interlace behind your head. And what I want you to think about is bringing your elbow towards the opposite knee. So I want your elbow and your knee to meet by twisting your torso. So get a nice twist across the center of your body there. Get that knee up nice and high. Now, as always, work at a pace that's right for you. You don't need to keep up with me. I just want you to think about the movement and getting a nice, clean repetition out. Good work. One more on each side. Last one. Good job. Okay, moving on to the next exercise, which is going to be inchworms. So you're going to come down to your mat, plant your hands on the floor between your legs, walk out into a high plank, and then walk back, weights in your heels, and stand up. Now the focus here is going to be on trying to minimize any side-to-side movement. So if that means you have to go a little bit slower, that is completely fine. Just try and think about keeping that core nice and strong and stabilizing your whole body. We've got a few more to do here, so keep going. I understand this move's quite challenging for beginners, so just try your best and you'll find the more you do it, the easier it will become. Something to think about is when you come out into that high plank, keeping everything nice and strong, so don't let your butt sag down and come towards the floor. So this is a great exercise to include in your warm-ups, as it's a full body exercise that really requires you to engage all the muscles. Well done, that was your last one, and we are now going to move into reverse lunges. So you're going to take your left leg back into a lunge. If you're able to and you're happy with the balance, you're going to add a twist over your front leg. So what I want you to think about here is taking a nice big step back, planting that back foot and aiming to make 2 90-degree angles with your knees, keeping your chest upright. So we're doing 6 reps on each leg, so I've switched to my right leg now, taking that back, keeping that core nice and strong, twisting over to the left if you've got that option. Got 2 more here. Last one, and done, well done. So that's our warm-up complete. We're just going to do a quick dynamic stretch. So take your legs out wide, keeping them straight. You're just going to lean over to the right and over to the left, just to a depth that's comfortable. Add a bit of a reach over your head and to the other side. So we're constantly moving in these dynamic stretches. Reach across, and then you're going to touch your toes on each side. Keep your back nice and straight. One more time on each side. Lovely. And you're going to come down to your mat, come into a downward facing dog position. If you need to have your knees bent, that is totally fine. I want you to aim on a nice straight back, getting your tailbone up towards the sky, really engaging through the shoulders. If you can, push your heels back and straighten your legs slightly, then you can do that now. And I'm going to just tread with my heels. So just really warming up the backs of the legs there. Keep pushing the floor away with your hands. Okay, let's stay down on the mat. If you come down onto your hands and knees, we're going to do some wrist stretches. So I want you to place the tops of your hands down with your fingers facing towards you. And you're just going to lean back on your wrists slightly to wherever's comfortable. This shouldn't be painful, but you should be able to feel a stretch. Now flip your hands over, fingers still towards you, but palms facing the floor this time. And lean back again, just ever so slightly. You can move around to whatever feels comfortable for you. Switching it again, you're going to keep your palms facing down, but this time fingers face away from you. And you're going to lean over your hands this time, so shoulders come forwards. Again, just move around, find what feels comfortable for you, so you can feel a nice stretch. And last, you're just going to take your fingers out towards the side, lean over your wrists side to side, come around in some circular motions. Nice work. These should actually feel quite nice and not too uncomfortable. Just give those wrists a nice roll out in either direction. And we are ready for our workout. We're going to go into round 1 of work. I will see you there. Okay guys, we're going into round 1. So in this round, I'm going to show you the beginner level exercises. And as we advance through the workout, we're going to move into the more advanced options. So the first exercise, of course, is push-ups. So if you are a beginner, you're going to start with incline push-ups. So I'm going to use my chair and I'm going to use the arms of the chair, which are slightly higher, to push from. So you're going to aim on getting your chest all the way down, keeping that head up, looking out in front of you. Keeping your core strong, glutes engaged, quads engaged, and a nice controlled movement. Elbows are going to be around 45 degrees from your waist, and I want you to think about breathing out when you push up. Don't forget to keep that core nice and strong. We're here for 8 reps. So just a couple more to go. Now you can be pushing from a sofa, a coffee table, a kitchen counter, whatever works for you. Pick a height that's going to be challenging, but that you can complete all the reps. Alright, moving on to our next exercise, tricep dips. So we have 8 of these as well. For our beginner option, you're going to be down on the floor and you're going to have your arms behind you, underneath your shoulders. And you're going to lean back, and when you push back up, you're going to contract that tricep muscle at the back of your arm. If you want to make this more challenging, take your feet slightly further away from your body. It just means you have to put a little bit more weight in your arms. Alright, beautiful. We're moving into our next exercise, which is going to be an up and down plank. So you're going to spin around onto your front. For your beginner option, we're going to be on our knees, but we're still going to be staying out in a nice long plank line. So hands are going to be directly beneath your shoulders. Okay, so we have a few seconds here while I'm about to set up my timer. So when you're in your plank, I want you to think about keeping that core nice and strong. So when we say that, what we mean is you want to imagine someone's going to come and punch you in the stomach, and you're going to tense that core really, really strong for the impact. That's what I want you to try and maintain throughout the whole exercise, and you should be doing that through every exercise. So come up into your plank. We're going to be on your knees for the beginner option, and then we're going to move from a high plank, just like this. We're going to go down onto our forearms, trying to minimize any side-to-side movement, push back up, and then switch arms. So always switching the arm that you're leading with every time. Good job, we've got one more. And we're going to move on to the next exercise, which is going to be handstand holds. So you're going to need your chair for this one. Okay, so you're going to grab your chair, and what I want you to do is make sure you have some space in front of your chair, because we want to bring our knees up onto that chair and our hands onto the ground below it. So from this position, you're going to put one foot or one knee up on the chair, then bring your other one, and you're going to walk your hands back, keeping those knees on the chair. Feet are going to point up towards the sky. Now this chair is a little bit low, so it's not ideal, but it will do. So what I want you to think about is bringing those hands nice and close. And you want to keep pushing the floor away with your hands, so really engage up through those arms. Wrap the triceps back, pull your forearms together, and really push through the shoulders. As always, core stays nice and strong. We're here for a total of 30 seconds, so not much longer to go. Keep it up. Last few seconds, keep pushing, and you are done. You can come down, walk those hands out, and step off the chair. Well done. Okay, heading into our next exercise, which is going to be dorsal raises. So you're going to come down facing the floor, lying flat. You're going to have your feet stretched out behind you, arms straight out in front of you, and what you're going to aim to do is peel your chest off the floor and pull your elbows back towards each other. So try and bring that chest up as high as possible. You can keep the tops of your feet flat on the floor. We're going for a total of 8 full reps here, so nice and controlled. Really squeeze those shoulder blades back together at the top and hold it for a second. Try not to let those hands touch the floor when you bring them forward. There's one more to go, and you're done. Alright, so you're going to come onto your bum, and for the next and last exercise of this round, we're going into a bridge. So if this is all you can get to, that's totally fine. You want your hands to be underneath your shoulders, heels to be underneath your knees. You're aiming to try and get your hips up as high as possible, so you're coming into that horizontal position. To do this, you really need to engage the entire posterior chain. So you're thinking about all the muscles down the back of your body. Really squeeze your butt, your glutes, get those hips up nice and high, shoulder blades squeeze together, and all we're going to do is stay here for 30 seconds. Last couple of seconds, don't forget to breathe. We're nearly there. Rest is coming. Nice work. Alright guys, you have a 1 minute rest now, so go and grab yourself some water. We are going to advance these exercises for the next round, so if you do want to take the more advanced option, I will show you those, but if you want to stick with the ones we've just done, then that's totally fine. Alright guys, let's get into round 2. So like I said, I'm going to show you the slightly more advanced options, but if you want to stick with the beginner options, then you can work your way up into these over time. Alright, so we're going to start with the incline push-ups. Just like before, we're going to be using the chair, but this time I'm going to be using the seat of the chair. So a little bit lower, everything else stays the same. So keep that core nice and strong, squeeze your glutes, your quads, and really think about bringing that chest down to the surface you're pushing on and not your head. Don't forget we're here for 8 reps in total. This is your last one, and we're going to be moving on into tricep dips. So this time for our tricep dips, we're actually going to use the chair. So you may have seen this in the other videos, but you're going to turn around, plant those hands underneath your shoulders on the chair. Feet are going to come out underneath your knees, and you're going to bend your elbows so they point backwards towards the back of the chair, and you sink your butt down towards the ground. When you come up, squeezing that tricep, of course, and keeping that core nice and strong, head up. If you want something slightly more challenging, you can take those legs out now, straight in front of you, but everything else stays the same, so elbows back, and bum goes directly down towards the ground. That was your last one, good job. We're going to come into our up and down plank now. This time we're going to be up on our toes, so we're going to be in a high plank to start with. As always, engage that core, and we're going to move from a high plank to a low plank. So you're going to come down onto those forearms, trying not to move side to side at all by embracing that core nice and strong. Don't forget to breathe and alternate the hand that you're leading with every time. We're here for a total of 30 seconds. We are nearly done. One more. And you can rest. We're moving into our handstand holds. This time we're going to be using the chair but up on our toes instead. Okay, so grab that chair. This time, instead of being on our knees, we're going to be up on our toes in a pike position. So you're going to plant those hands down on the floor, toes go onto the chair, and you're going to walk back. The aim is to try and get your hips stacked over your hands and your shoulders as much as possible. We're here for 30 seconds again, so keep pushing that floor away, really grip the floor with your hands. Engage all the muscles, all the side body and the shoulders, push out. Last few seconds, keep holding it. Nice work, you can come down nice and slowly. We'll move into the next exercise, which is going to be our dorsal raises. So when you're ready, you're going to come face down to the floor. This time, we're going to have our arms straight out in front of us, and we're going to bring them back behind us while keeping them straight, so almost like you're swimming. So straight arms all the way back, bring that chest off the floor, Don't let your hands touch the floor when they come forwards. And make sure you get a nice squeeze at the top. So squeeze those shoulder blades together, hold it, and back down. And we're here for 8 repetitions. We've got one more, really get a good squeeze at the top, and you can rest. Nice work. Alright, we have one more exercise to go, which in the last round was a bridge, but this time is going to be a reverse plank. So the setup's the same. You're going to have your hands directly beneath your shoulders at your back. Fingers are going to face the front of the room, the same direction as your toes. Now this is the exercise that we did last time, our bridge, but we actually want to take it into reverse plank this time if possible. So you're going to stretch those legs out, still have the weight in your heels, and bring those hips up nice and high to the sky, and you're just going to stay here, keeping the back really strong. So try not to let your body dip down like I just showed there. You want to really engage all the back muscles, the posterior chain. Really squeeze your shoulder blades back. You can drop your head back if it feels comfortable. We're nearly done. Rest is coming. And there it is. Good job. All right, you've got 1 minute rest. We've got one more round to go. I will see you back here in a minute. Alright guys, we're back for round 3. This is the final round. We're going to start with our push-ups. I'm going to take them onto the floor this time. The option is up to you. We're here for 8 repetitions. So if you want to stick with one of the earlier progressions, that is completely up to you. Do whatever is most challenging for you. Good job, just one more repetition. Nice, and we're going to move on into our tricep dips. So remember the option, you can either be on the floor, you can use the edge of the chair, or you can do what I'm about to do. It's going to take me a second to set up, but you can use 2 chairs back to back. Alright, you guys can have a quick rest while I set this up, but essentially I'm trying to design a dip station that you would have in a gym. So I'm going to be in between the 2 chairs like this, and I'm going to come into negative dips. So I'm only doing the downward phase of the exercise, then I step my feet down, push myself back up, and slowly and controlled come back down on the eccentric phase. So whichever option you're doing, we're doing 8 repetitions. If you're here with me on the negatives here, this is a challenging exercise and a fantastic way to start to build up the strength that's required to be able to do a full bodyweight dip. I'm just going to turn the chairs onto the side view so you guys can see what I'm doing as well. So control that movement as much as possible. Draw those elbows back towards the back of the room. Core stays nice and strong. Last rep, and we're moving into our up and down plank. So this is going to be the same as the last round. We're going to be up on our toes. I just want you to think about minimizing that side to side movement even more, keeping that core nice and strong. And you could maybe speed this up a little bit. Here for 30 seconds in total. Awesome work, we're nearly there, and we're going to be moving into our next exercise, which is our handstand holds. So we're going to be doing the same as the last round. Just grab yourself that chair. We're going to be in a pike up on our toes. So nice and gently come up into that position. Try and stack your hips up above your hands and your shoulders. Really push that ground away, wrap those forearms around, triceps towards the back as well, and just stay nice and strong. Last few seconds here, keep it up. And you're done, nice work, walk it out. We're going into dorsal raises, so you're going to come face down onto the floor. It's exactly the same as before, so arms stretch out in front of you. And you're going to draw them around into the back, really peel your chest off the floor. But this time, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you're going to bring your toes off the ground as well. So draw those legs up. Again, we're here for 8 reps. We've got 2 more left. That's 1 and 1 more. Really pull it up, hold it, and back down. You can rest. Okay, last exercise, we are nearly there. We're going into that reverse plank again. So hands down beneath your shoulders. You're going to lift your hips up towards the sky. Weight is in your heels. And stay nice and strong. Again, we're just going to stay here for 30 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Nice work, we're nearly there. Just keep lifting those hips up. Last few seconds. And you can relax, well done. Alright guys, that's the main part of our workout done. I've added in a little core burner at the end. It's only going to be a couple of minutes long. So you've got 30 seconds rest here. You don't need to do it if you want to skip ahead to the stretch, that's totally fine. Check out the timestamps below for where to skip to. Otherwise we will get straight into our core round. You've got around 10 seconds. Alright, so let's jump into this quick core burner at the end. It's going to be a Tabata style workout, so 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds rest. You're going to come down onto the floor. I'm going to just quickly show you some of the repetitions of this exercise before we start. So lying flat on the floor, right arm's going to come down by your side. Extend that right leg out, left arm out above your head. And you're going to bring your elbow and your knee to meet in the middle. And then every other rep, you're going to straighten that and tap your toe. Just like this. Alright, are we ready? Let's go. 20 seconds. So working as fast as you can, keeping it on the same side. We're not here for long, so it means you can work flat out and then you have that 10-second break to recover. Keep it going, we're nearly there. One more and have a quick rest, 10 seconds. We're going to switch to the other side for the next one. I'm just showing you here. So exactly the same movement, but this time it's your right elbow, left leg. Are we ready? Let's go. Last few seconds, stick with it. And here is your rest, 10 seconds. The next exercise is going to be a half crunch. So arms are going to come behind your head. Keep those elbows out to the side. I want you to think about lifting your chest up to the sky. Are we ready? Let's go. So just a little crunch here. Come all the way back down. Keep that chin tucked into your chest. And keep those heels firmly stuck onto the ground. Nice work, just a couple more reps to squeeze out. And you're done. Have a quick rest. Nice work. All right, we're going to repeat that circuit one more time, and then you are done with your workout. So this was the first move. I seem to have switched directions, so I'm going right elbow to left knee. All right, let's go. All right, don't forget we're only here for 20 seconds. It goes super quick, so just keep working, keep pushing yourself through the whole 20 seconds. Rest is coming. There it is. All right, have a quick rest. Back to the other side now. Are we ready? Let's go. So nice and controlled movements. Don't forget to breathe and try not to compromise on your form for speed. If you're starting to get tired and you find that everything's starting to get a bit sloppy, just slow it down. That's totally fine. I would rather good reps rather than speed. This is your last one. Good work. All right, enjoy that rest. You've got 10 seconds here and we're going into the crunches. Try to keep those elbows out as far as you can to the side. And we are going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. This is your last 20 seconds, guys. So let's squeeze it out. And then you've just got a cool down stretch after this. Give me one more. Awesome work. Take a nice deep breath. All the hard work is over. We're just going to move into a stretch. If you need to have a quick break and grab yourself some water, then do so. If not, come and join me at your mat. Okay, we're going to start by coming face down onto the floor. Bring those hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up into an upward facing dog. So really bring that head up nice and high towards the sky. Chest pushes up forwards. And then you're going to sit back on those heels. Make sure those toes are touching, knees out to the side, into a child's pose. So you're just going to take your hands over to the left. So you can feel a nice stretch down the right side of your body. Really push in and lean into that right side. And now switch your hands over to the right. You should feel a stretch down the left side. Just going to come up onto your hands and knees, hands down beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. I'm just going to round your back, push the floor away. And then bring your head up, bring the shoulder blades together. So just some simple cat-cow. Back into a rounded back, pushing that floor away. Really pull those shoulder blades apart. And switch, head comes up. Just going to plant those toes on the floor and push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Now you can bend those knees if you don't have the flexibility in your hamstrings. Just think about dropping your chest down towards the floor and really pushing the ground away with your hands. If you want to extend those legs out, try to plant your heels onto the ground if possible. And really think about bringing that tailbone up to the sky nice and high. All right, you're going to bring that right leg forward into a low lunge. Lean into that front leg. Sweep your arms up and over. Pull your arms and your hands back towards the back of the room. Chest stays up nice and high. You're going to open out, twist to the right, come back to the front. And we're going to switch legs. Left leg comes forward, lean in. Sweep those arms up and over. Nice stretch here. And then you're going to stretch out to the left. Beautiful. Now you're just going to take a seated position on the floor. I want you to bring your feet out in front of you. Knees are going to be slightly bent and you're going to put the weight in your heels. They're going to be about a foot apart from each other. Point those toes out. You're going to take your right hand and place it on the outside of your left foot. I want you to think about pulling that shoulder back towards the back of the room and rounding your back. You can roll your head around if it's comfortable. You should feel this underneath your shoulder blade in the back, underneath that right shoulder blade. Now you're just going to switch sides, so left hand comes to the outside of your right foot this time. If you point your toes out a little bit more, you'll feel the stretch a little bit more as well. Just pull in opposite directions. Nice work. All right, nice and slowly come up to standing. We're just going to do a little side bend. So bring that right arm up. You're going to lean over just to wherever it's comfortable for you. Good job. And switch sides, other arm. Keep this on the side. So imagine there's a pane of glass in front of you. And then you're just going to bend over, touch the floor, your toes, or even your shins, whatever you can reach. Just think about getting your chest to your legs. And you are done. Take a nice deep breath. Good job. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you.